Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Thankful Thursday, June 6th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is a actress and model from the Chicago area, and she is here today to talk about Passion and Paradise fashion show, Fashion Dolls. This Saturday, June 8th, she is going to be walking in this show. This is her event, and I'm super excited to welcome her. Let's give a warm welcome to the Armageddon diva, Claire Davis. Let me send her an invite. Hello.
Hi, how
Hello.
are you?
Welcome to the Dollhouse. I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to fix the camera.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess we caught the memo because we are both wearing shades of blue.
Yes, blue is my favorite color. Yes.
And that is our theme color for this season, purple and blue, actually. Yes.
Oh, I gotta get some more purple.
Yes. So, before we kick off this conversation, how has 2024 been for you so far? We are now in a new month. We are now in the month of June, and it seems like the days are already starting to go by. So, how has 2024 been for you so far?
I gotta admit, the beginning was pretty negative, a little weird, but I'm starting to gain traction and feel a lot better about everything. So, uh, time management is definitely a must at this point.
Absolutely. It's not promised to nobody. So make sure
No,
that you guys are balancing your time. Now, you're
yeah.
from the Chicago area. Hi, Naptown. Yes, you guys are getting two shows today. This is the first one. We're going to talk fashion. Now, my beautiful special guest today has an event she's going to be talking about. But before we get into this fashion show, because I'm excited, we're both fashion girls. And
Yes.
when she sent me the event to talk about, I said, this is interesting. Is a black woman, and she is promoting her fashion show, her event, because we know how anti-black the fashion industry is, and we'll talk
Yeah.
about that a little bit later in this interview and conversation. So you guys go get your snacks because you guys are going to be getting two shows today, 3 and 4. So before we continue on, now you are from Chicago, girl. There's a lot of talent in Chicago. You got
Absolutely.
Jennifer Hudson, you got Sherry Shepard, Chance the Rapper. It's so many. So for you growing up, because you're not only a model, you're an actress as well too. So at what age did you discover the passion for acting and modeling?
My passion for acting comes from my 3D animations. So I'm a 3D animator, and right now most of my projects are short right now because it takes a lot to create just even one film. 5 minutes alone is like gigabytes, terabytes actually. So it's like I ended up going into acting through that, and I enjoyed it. So I went from voice acting to that, and now acting has been my forefront.
Now you've done voice acting. That's a little bit different from being on the stage and being behind the lens as well too. For you, what do you prefer?
I prefer acting. I do because I feel like you could get more emotion out when you're face to face with the other party. You know what I mean? Instead of, you're just looking at the screen and, it's like, did I get that right? You have to do like 100 takes to say that one word right. So, yeah, I prefer to be an actress. Yeah.
Now, speaking of actresses, my next question for you is if you had to put a Mount Rushmore up of your top five favorite actresses,
Mhm.
who would your Mount Rushmore include?
Ooh, Taraji, number
My
one. I
God,
love
I
Taraji.
love,
Oh my goodness. Viola Davis.
love her.
Um, I'm gonna go back in time a little bit. um, Definitely Dorothy Dandridge.
Uh,
I believe I'm saying her name correctly.
Dorothy
Yes.
Dandridge,
Mm,
you remind me of my girl Chappelle Nicole.
yes.
When we did our interview, she said she has nothing but pictures of Dorothy Dandridge in her house.
Mm,
Like that's how much of an icon she is.
yes, absolutely. Um, Aaliyah Hutton. Hmm.
Oh,
She was an
rest.
actress before she passed, you know.
Yeah.
She was absolutely gorgeous.
Gone
Yeah.
to something, and she was so beautiful. She was very talented,
Mm,
full of life, and she gave so much to the world. It's just like a life taken too soon from us.
absolutely. Absolutely. I miss her. Like like literally I made like an art piece in my living room. Like literally.
Oh
Literally.
yes,
Yes. I'm still working on it. So I'm going to fill this whole
beautiful.
wall with flowers and things like that. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Naptown asks, "How is our day going?"
So far
Wonderful.
so
It's
good.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Naptown. I'm glad you're enjoying the conversation. Again, you guys are getting two shows today. So I wanted to start off with my favorite thing, fashion, and get to know this beautiful lady here.
Oh,
As you
thank
guys can see, you
you.
guys are both saying we're both beautiful. Thank you. We appreciate it. Now, you said Aaliyah as well, too. Now, you've got Viola Davis. You named Taraji. Aaliyah. Who else would you include on your Mount Rushmore?
Dorothy Dandridge. And for the fifth one, I've been noticing a young lady. Uh, I can't remember her name though, but she's an older actress, and they made a spin-off TV show about her. It's called Queen Charlotte,
Sure.
and
I,
it's from
I,
Bridgerton.
I
She's the
know.
queen in Bridgerton, but
Oh, I know
she is
exactly.
amazing. I love
Her
her.
name is
She's
right
amazing.
on my tongue. This is horrible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I usually I'm on point about that, but this time her name escapes me. But I absolutely love her.
And she's amazing. I think she just did an interview with Jennifer Hudson not too long ago. So she's killing it
Oh,
out here.
okay, I
Uh,
missed that one.
yeah,
Okay.
yes. So we've covered the acting aspect. What about modeling? Who are some of your top models that you would include in your Mount
In the
Rushmore?
beginning, it was Naomi Campbell, and then
Oh,
over time, Tyra Banks took over. You know, I was born around that time where Tyra just came in and shut it down. You know, she changed the game for a lot of girls. So,
and at the time, what I hate about it is you just named two of the top black supermodels. And what I hate is that these two women were pitted against each other. And we
yeah.
know how the fashion industry is because at that time it could only be one black girl, one
Hmm.
brown girl to cover each magazine. Each issue of Vogue, it could only be one girl. And at the time it was Naomi and then Tyra. It was sort of like they made it a rivalry, but I'm just like, they're both equally
Yeah,
amazing. So who else did you include into your Mount Rushmore supermodels?
absolutely. Absolutely. Those are my top two for the Mount Rushmore. It would just be those two there.
I mean, there were so many, and I've had the pleasure of interviewing others as well too. Cara Young,
Absolutely.
who's worked alongside Naomi Campbell and
Mm,
Christy Turlington, because I mean, they were the it girls at that time. I
mm.
mean, it was Christy, it was Linda, Tatiana, may she rest in grace. It was Cara Young, who I've had the pleasure of interviewing here. And FYI, for those of you who do not know, Cara Young was in Prince's Kiss music video. And
Oh,
Prince wanted her to wear red lipstick. That's a little trivia for you guys. Go back and check that interview out. And I did not know this, but Cara and Wayne Scott Lucas, who has dressed Janet Jackson, who has dressed Tina Turner, I've had the pleasure of interviewing him also as well too. And they're good friends. So she kind of came in the interview what I did with Wayne, and it was great to just see us collectively discuss fashion in the fashion industry. But there's so many. Beth Ann Hardison was like, I call her the godmother of the fashion world because for all of the brown girls out here that look like us, that look like this screen, She made sure that they were getting into this industry, that they had their shows. She had her own modeling agency, and I was reading that in where Essence magazine, that there was a lot of casting calls. There was a lot of ghost seats, and she's just like, "Oh, I'm tired of seeing the same thing. I want to see something different in the fashion world." And now, the fashion industry has definitely changed their standards of what beauty is supposed to be. Another model who I've two models who I've also had the pleasure of interviewing is Connie Fleming, who is one of Terry Mugler's muses, and also Carolyn Miles, who's also walked in the 1988 Mugler show. And this was when Naomi was kind of bursting on the scene as a supermodel. Roshamba, it was so many. Katusha, all of them, they were walking in that show. Iman,
Right.
like some of those pieces are in the, I think she said the museum in Paris, because it was very trivial. It was like an African inspired pieces. So definitely a little history here.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Well,
All
welcome,
history is
girl.
good.
I've had the pleasure to get that knowledge, and
Yeah. Because
ladies, it
it's
felt
so
good.
much that people don't know, you know. So that's why I feel all knowledge is good knowledge, you know.
Absolutely. A big shout outs to my brother, the K2 Spot. Make sure you guys please go and check out my brother's platform. Great platform. Please go and check him out. Always supporting. Hey, brother. And I see somebody else popping in as well, too. Hi, gentlemen. Demarcus Bumpers, who I've also had the pleasure of interviewing, is working on some big things as well, too. Another actor. So he's definitely somebody that you would want to link up with as well. Definitely. Yes, and I'm going to link you up with my girl Chappelle Nicole, and you can ask her about the Dorothy Dandridge, because when she said she decorated her house, she put pictures of her. These women, I'm going to go back to Dorothy. I'm glad you named her. Holly Berry did an outstanding job portraying her, and she did so good. I went back and I watched her interview that she did with Oprah, and her family, Dorothy Dandridge's family. Now, at the time, because Halle Berry originally wasn't supposed to get the role because it was like a battle, you had three women who were going up for the role of Dorothy Dandridge. For those who do not know, it was Janet Jackson and it was Whitney Houston also going for that role. And so they wanted stakes into the Introducing Dorothy Dandridge movie. And so Halle Berry got the role. So it was sort of like a tie between all three, but Holly got the role. So Holly did an outstanding job in this interview, and one of her family members came on the Oprah show during Holly's interview with Oprah at the time. And God, I wish I could find the archives. They took it down off of YouTube, but the interview was there, and Holly just started crying because they resemble each other so much. And she's saying the same thing basically that we are saying, that whenever Black women pass away, it's so sad because our stories are barely told. And it's just like, who's going to tell our stories? Who's going to tell our legacy? Another one of my favorites is Eartha Kitt. I love Eartha Kitt and how unapologetic she was. Um,
Absolutely.
if it wasn't for her, Dorothy Dandridge and Josephine Baker, who's another one who just recently celebrated a birthday, may she rest in grace, we wouldn't have this next generation. Hattie McDaniel was the first to open that door, and then you see all these other women that we just named, the Dorothy Dandridges, Josephine Bakers. Yeah, I think Hattie McDaniel, Josephine Baker would have been out around the same time. And then you've had Dorothy Dandridge as well too. So these three women are pivotal in the way we see the entertainment business now, with actresses and a push for diversity and inclusion.
Absolutely.
So that's very
Absolutely. I agree.
okay. So we've covered the modeling aspect. Now let's get into, because I know for you as a model, you model and act as well too. There are a lot of challenges for Black models in the industry. And I've sat with some of the models that I've mentioned, from Carol, from Connie to Clara, and so many. And we talked about racism, and well, in the beauty industry as well as in the fashion industry. And the issue that a lot of Black models, and I'm pretty sure you've seen some of the TikToks, where Black models will be backstage at shows and they would not be able to find makeup shades in their complexion.
Yes.
And the hairstylist would not be able to do their hair because they don't know how to operate with our hair texture. And for us as African American women, as African American people, as a culture, we vary different hair textures. Like my hair texture is not going to be like the next person's. You're going to have someone who's going to have 3C hair. You're going to have someone who's going to have 4C hair. And that has been an issue in the business for a very long time. And Clara, I wanted to get your thoughts on it because I know for you as a black woman as well too, as well as myself, I've been vocal and I've talked about this with other black women and men on my platform. Mainly women, we get it the worst. We're scrutinized the worst for our hair. And I'm pretty sure you've heard what happened to Gabrielle Union when she was hosting America's Got Talent. One of the complaints that she got from behind the scenes, and this is what came out, is that she changed her hair too much.
Wow.
I wanted
Well,
to
you
know
can't
your,
keep the
your
same
opinion.
hair type. Well, okay, for instance, let's say you put your hair in a bun and you have African American hair or just African
Right.
hair, period. It's like that style won't last with a lot of gel and a lot of all the chemicals that they use on set, period. It's not going to last. She's not going to go home and it's going to come back the same way she left it. It's going to be a whole nother shape by the time she comes back. So when you're dealing with hair with that texture, it has to be redone. It has to be because it's just going to cake up because of the thick curly texture. You know what I mean? We hold a lot, you know what I mean, in our hair. So it has to be washed. We can't just sit there and, hey, I'm gonna gel my hair this way and then leave it like this for 3 weeks. No, we can't do that. We have to do that. So they have to accommodate us. They have to, you know. And I feel like instead of having a stigma about it, hire the right people that know what they're doing. You know, like yes, hire your, normal people, but also just in case have backup for our African American women that are on set because we need that backup, especially if you want your scene to look right. You know what I mean? Like there's certain scenes like, um, let's say it's James Cameron, Avatar,
Yeah,
something like that. Are you going to literally have a full afro during that, or are you gonna? You see what I mean? Like there has to be some versatility as well as when you're on set, whether if it's wardrobe, whether if it's crafty food, because not everyone eats the same thing. You have to have
exactly.
versatility with the hair as well, hair and makeup as well. Like you can't just, put everyone in one box and figure it out later. No, that's not going to work.
And when I have my girlfriend here, my good friend Rage, no name printed by Rage, make sure you guys go and check that conversation out. Rage is a hairstylist and she has been doing hair and makeup and fashion for a very long time. And we've been good friends for a very long time. And one of the things that she stressed when we did our beauty conversation for Summer Beauty last month, I want to say, yes, last month, we had a conversation where we were talking about summer beauty trends. Humidity is not a black woman's best friend,
No, it's not.
especially if you are
No,
natural.
it's not.
If you, for my
I can vouch
natural,
for that. Like, have you ever gone to Cancun? Literally, my braids unraveled by themselves, and I had full coils of my hair was curly, and it just came out. I was like, there's nothing I can do. I could try to rebraid it, but it just kept sliding out. The humidity was that high that I could not keep my hair intact. So,
and it's about 80, 90 degrees outside. A lot of people are going on vacations, and for black women, the dangers to our hair are the heat, that humidity, and
yeah.
chlorophene. If you
Mm-hmm.
jump in that pool, for my fellas out there, you gotta understand why your girl is always wearing a swimming cap. There is a reason why we wear protective styles to protect our hair, and they've given so much backlash to women who wear wigs. I'm wearing one today, but you guys can't tell. The same for yesterday. It's blended in so well that you can't even tell. It looks like it's
Mm-hmm.
growing from my arm. Yesterday I had medium length hair. Today it's like a chin bob, and I wore this because of the dress that I'm wearing today. It's all about variation and versatility, as you said, Clara, because as black
Absolutely.
women, we don't stay the same. We are not a monolith. We love to change it up. And I can give you another style trendsetter when we talk about fashion.
Mhm.
Rihanna. Rihanna is one of the 10 best styled
I
women,
absolutely
hands down.
love her. Yeah.
And I watched her interview that she did with Allure magazine. And you want to know what she said? Like a lot of black women, she said, I get bored. I want to chop it off. I want to bleach it. I want to relax it. I want to do. Well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend hitting the bleach and a relaxer together. But separately, yes, you can do one or the other. But
Absolutely.
I wouldn't do them together. But if you're getting a pixie, if you're getting something like how Toni Braxton wears hers or Tiana Taylor, then that's completely fine. Because short hair is, to a lot of people, is easy to maintain. You just spike it up or whatever you prefer and go. For me, I like variation. And this season, I've given a lot of people variation, different hair textures, different hair colors. I like to experiment. And the same for Rihanna. A lot of black women, we don't want to be the same. We're not a monolith. And that's what Gabrielle Union got punished for from America's Next Got Talent. America's Got Talent. Because they felt as though, oh, why is she doing this? Black women, we do the most. We're
And it's
black
not
women.
even that. It's just a simple fact our hair won't last that long in that style. You're going to have to
And
rewrap. You're going to have to repress. You're going to have to, you know what I mean? Eventually, once it needs to be washed, and whatever her hair care routine is keeping her hair long and beautiful. So, why would you want to interrupt that if she has to change it to keep her hair the way that it is and the length that it is, whether if it's a natural state or straight, bone straight, it doesn't matter. Whatever her hair care plan is, it's working for her. So if she needs to change it, let her change it. Because then you're going to have a lawsuit for making her go bald because you didn't change
hello.
her hairstyle like she asked you to. Like, it's simple math, but they make it difficult. And it's like, I never understood why it's so difficult for black women to just be themselves. Like,
It's
I've
hard for us, and
never
I'm pretty sure
understood that.
you get it
Like, why
too.
do we have to be plain Jane all day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? We get bored. We, we get
Hello.
bored. Like I may not even have this. I may have a short pixie red cut the next day. Like, it changes. It just, it doesn't feel right. To me personally, it doesn't feel right to me to just sit and be plain all day. It feels like prison. Yeah.
And
It does. It feels like prison. Like, I
I
love
agree.
all the jewelry and the cuteness. I like this. So why
It's
not? Why we can't
versatility.
wear it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I give you another example of other actresses who've experienced the same thing of not having the correct hairstylist on set or someone who is not eligible to do ethnic hair. I'm gonna take you all the way back.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about. If you guys watch The Young and the Restless, you gotta know who I'm talking about. That is Victoria Rao, Drusilla Winters. Now,
Yes.
she fought for other black actors on the show, Shamar Moore, the rest of them, to have someone who was able to style black hair on the set because they were like, oh my God, your hair is so beautiful. She says, let me bring someone on the set. Like, she fought advocately hard for them to have someone who was on set to be able to style ethnic hair. Because we know if we watch the stories, we watch the soaps, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, you'll see one or two black actors on the show. And they are not capable of handling black hair.
Nope.
So she had to fight for them. And they were just like, no, it won't be necessary for you to bring someone on to demonstrate how to do a silk press. Because at the time, if you go all the way back in the 90s, a lot of women were relaxing their hair. Queen
Yeah.
Latifah was one of them. Queen Latifah wore a relaxer from Living Single. Did you guys know that? And then she started getting her hair silk pressed. And when you see her now on the red
It
carpet, she just did Pride. You
down
guys
her
seen her
back
with
now. Yeah.
Janelle Monáe, beautiful brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw her stylist just combing through, like she just got a shampooed, conditioned, healthy hair. The same for Beyonce. Beyonce, well, you guys didn't know this. I'm going to take you all the way back to 1999. This was around the time that they released the Writings on the Wall album.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the cover, the braids Beyonce had, Miss Tina did those.
Yeah.
Miss Tina did all of the girls'
Yeah.
hair. and they were face models for Soft and Beautiful's Botanicals. And it was Earth, Wind, Fire. Latavia was Fire. Latoya was Wind. Beyonce was Earth, and Kelly was Water. You guys remember that ad? I have to post it. See,
Mm-hmm.
I take you all the way back to 1999. That was a relaxer. They were the faces for it. So Miss Tina did their hair, and they were using nothing but Soft and Beautiful Botanicals, which is a great product. And you guys remember what Soft and Beautiful looks like. I use it. I use Just for Me. But the reason why Beyonce wears wigs is to protect her hair underneath.
Yeah.
Kim Fields from Living Single, and I'm pretty sure you've seen her in an interview to Clara. She said this. She said, I'm not about to keep going through. We know that the curling irons, my ladies, black women, we know that the curling iron and the blow dryer, thermal styling can be dangerous to our hair if you do
Mm-hmm.
not have a thermal protectant. And that is another thing that they need to have backstage when styling ethnic hair, because our hair cannot take heat that high. Our actual hair. Whereas now, Queen Latifah said, I'm not about to lose my edges because you want me to get my hair bone straight or look in a certain way. And then she just started silk pressing it. A lot of people are starting to take the direction of silk pressing it. Now, with this humidity out here right now, I would not recommend that. And me and Clever covered that in the beginning of this conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're in the winter months, fall, winter months, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
what I would suggest. A lot of people are starting to wear braids right now. A lot of people are starting to get cuts. Like today, I chose to do a bob. I wanted to do something different than what I had yesterday. I had the swoop going, but today I just wanted like a bob. And the rapper Eve was actually the inspiration for my hair. Taraji P. Henson as well too, because I seen Taraji when she went on the talk. She had a similar cut, and I said I got to get a cut like that. So that's the inspiration for today's hair. But that's a little trivia on Beyonce. But now Beyonce, as you can see what she does, her stylist, Neil, does an amazing job. And whoever else styles her wigs, you can't even tell.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we wear wigs, to protect our hair underneath. Because those curling irons, doing it every single day, if you don't have a thermal protectant, can wear on your hair. It's like when you get partial implants in your teeth, it's like a temporary thing. It's like,
Absolutely.
okay, it can work, or then it can't work, or it's going to fall out. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why we're wearing protective styles, keyword protective styles.
Yeah.
But we need more ethnic styling on set. That's what we need.
Yes, absolutely. Either allow us put it in the contract before you sign, like come with your hair already done, for the part, because it's not hard to find out who your character is and what they're wearing and things of that nature. You can kind of tell, like you can kind of figure it out. And I feel like they should start putting that in the contracts to have either their hair done before they come to set or hire their own personal stylist of their choosing that they know they're going to do their hair correctly to be on set to do their hair. Like, I feel like those two things need to be implemented in the industry.
Absolutely. Now, how do you feel about the makeup issue? Because I've seen models on TikTok and
Mm,
they would be backstage getting hair and makeup done. And the makeup artist put one shade on a model who's a little bit darker than me.
mm,
And she looked at her hair and she looked at herself. They didn't know how to style her hair because she had four texture hair, beautiful curls. I mean, big, beautiful curls. And she just broke down crying. And she posted it on TikTok. That was heartbreaking. That was heartbreaking to watch because I'm like, this happened to another actress that I've interviewed, and we had the same conversation about Shayna Johnson, and we had a conversation, and she says now they got her matched up. They know how to do her correct makeup shade, whereas before they had her in the incorrect makeup shade. And we know how if you do not have the right shade on brown skin or a little bit browner than mine, it's going to have that shadow cast on it. You're going
yeah,
to look bold
it's gonna
or
make you
watch.
look like Casper. Yeah, it's gonna be a brown Casper, basically. And it's like, I feel like at this point, the industry has been around for so many years. This should not be a problem today. By now, it should you should get it right. Like otherwise, it's just either racism or you just don't care. You figure I got my paycheck. I don't care. I'm just gonna slap whatever on her. And I feel like they should be harder on these makeup artists to make sure that each model is representing the brand properly. Because why would you want your model going outside out there on the runway looking stupid? I don't see like you spend thousands of dollars to showcase your work and for you to allow someone to come in and mess it up just because, oh, I got my paycheck, I don't care. You know what I mean? They should check these people. Like make sure, double check behind their work and make sure your models are perfect when they walk out on the floor. Of course, there's no such thing as perfect, but you get what I'm saying. Like, if it were me and I spent that amount of money, millions of dollars on a runway show, and I got 24, 50 models walking out there and something don't look right, someone's getting fired. And that's just the bottom line. Like, why would you waste money like that? I look at these high brands like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and things like that. You should know better by now. You should definitely know better. And if you don't, something's wrong. You might as well just step back and let other clothing designers show you how to do it.
Now, the reason why I look that way is because who has been saying that for a long time about some of these brands? They've been very anti-black, and it's even worse if you go over there to like Europe. And we've seen what Kelly Rowland just had to endure at Cannes on the red carpet. So
Right.
it's definitely racism out there. They're not wanting to design your gown. They only want a model of a certain complexion to walk in their shows. They only want to advertise a certain model in a product. And that's why when I do my fashion posts, you'll never see me post anything from Gucci or Dolce and Gabbana. Karl Lagerfeld, that's a
Right.
whole nother
I
story.
don't wear any of those brands. None of them.
Now, Valentino, Oscar de la Renta, Chanel, I do not mind. But Karl Lagerfeld, I've heard things about him. And he only wanted models to be a certain shape. It was very fat phobic. It was deeply rooted in fat phobia. He only wanted, it barely didn't want any black models. So it's just like, again, and then at the time for beauty, at that time when it was, the top models that you named, Tyra and Naomi, every model had to bring their own makeup to do their own makeup, because if you didn't, you were out of luck. You just had to go with what the makeup artist backstage had to do for you. And I remember Naomi Campbell saying this. She said she literally had to go and get her mom's, and you know what I'm about to say, Clara, and if you know, it's that pink compact fashion fair.
Fashion fair.
You
Oh my
all
God.
remember fashion fair.
I
We
remember
cannot forget
fashion fair.
the
Yes.
pink
My mom used to wear
compact.
that. Yes.
She said
Yes.
she took her mom's fashion fair because her mom also modeled as well too. And then what happened? Something happened at that time, way before you had Rihanna, Fenty, and all these other brands that are out right now that are giving us 50 different shades for every hue of skin. Iman broke that barrier. But before Iman, it was Naomi Sims,
Mm.
and she was very popular. She was a very popular model in the 70s.
Oh,
I mean, she was everywhere. She was on Life magazine. She had a wig collection. She had makeup. She had hair products. She
I
had everything. And then
remember.
there's another
Before
model.
Vivica, there was in mine.
Yeah. It's another one. Her name is Wanaki. Wanaki had her hair care products, and she was on the cover of Essence. You've seen her everywhere. And then there was another one by the name of Moana. Am I pronouncing her name right, you guys? If I am, let me know. Her name is spelled Mounia, and she was a very popular model. Google her. You guys will know exactly who I'm talking about. You've seen her everywhere as well too. She had her makeup line, and then years later came Iman. And then now we've got Rihanna. Rihanna is giving us
Oh,
50
killing it with the shades. Oh my goodness. Like I have not had the pleasure of trying her products yet because I am
girl.
stuck on Elf. I am so stuck on Elf. Oh my God. Like their concealer, I use that as a foundation. It's that good.
You You mentioned Elf. You sound just. We got to bring you back on one of my girl talks and beauty shows because you sound just like my girl Shayla. Shayla Crayola swears by Elf. And the makeup melt off balm. I use the makeup melt off balm. I
Mhm.
use their Sun Touchable Whoa Glow primer, and that's how I get my glow. You guys, if you guys are wondering how I'm glowing all over today, it is that Sun Touchable Glow Whoa Glow primer, and then I use their putty primer, the matte poreless
Oh,
primer, and then I use
and
their
I love the
power.
red one, the little red primer. It's
Yes,
a power primer, I believe. Yes, that
uh,
is really good. The blue,
niacinamide.
not so much. I didn't like the blue one too much, but the red one, yes, definitely.
Elf's products are amazing, and I love that they have a range. A lot of brands now, because if you go to a makeup section, and I was to go to Revlon, or I was to go to Maybelline or any of these other brands, there was only a few shades for a woman about my complexion or Clara's complexion. Or if you've seen
Hmm.
Shayla or my girl Rage, there
Yep.
was very few shades for the brown girl.
Yeah.
And I remember when Maybelline created Shades of You. You guys remember the pink compact Shades of You, and Tyra Banks, she was the face of it. And they showcased other black models as well too. There was Maybelline, and then there was Maybelline Shades of You. In Vogue, they had In Vogue doing a whole demonstration on how to do your makeup. And In
Yeah.
Vogue was hot at the time. They just released the album Funky Divas. I had the pleasure of interviewing Don Robinson. And oh my God, they did the campaign. They were the faces. They were applying the makeup, telling you how to do your face every day. Because backstage, you have to have your own team to do your hair, to do your makeup, all of these things. And now we're still fighting with the same issue. Like there's no one on set to do ethnic hair.
Yeah.
And we have to still work hard to get that issue fixed now in 24.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. We're still having the same problem. Like me myself, I feel like and one day I feel like I will be at that level, whether or not. I still believe. And I feel like I'm going to need a special team with me. And that's only due to my health. And recently I had to take off for about 3 years to make sure that I was okay. I have a genetic disorder that destroys the kidneys. It's focal segmental glomerulosclerosis, and my parents passed it to me. And
Sorry.
yes, yeah, thank you. I've made peace with it. I'm okay now. I appreciate it. It just I noticed with the industry, I'm going to need some extra hands. So when it comes to makeup, I'm going to need an extra person to do my makeup. So all my contracts in the future are going to have to include that extra person. You see what I'm saying? And as far as wardrobe, I can't use, I probably won't be able to use the industry wardrobe people. I'm going to need someone that knows my condition and my body type
Yeah.
and how it changes so much because kidney failure will do that. It will change your shape constantly. So it's like if you get someone in the industry that just like doesn't know what they're doing, you know, or they're just standard, oh, size 0 to size 6. That's all they remember. They're not going to know how to dress me properly and have the clothing fit me to look beautiful on camera. Does that make sense? They're just going to give me whatever they got in their trailer, and that's not cool. I'm going to need certain type of clothes to fit me a certain type of way so that it doesn't hurt me, if that makes sense.
I
So,
absolutely
yeah.
got you. Like I said,
So
I'm gonna
the
link you up
industry
with my
needs
girl.
to
I'm
change. Yeah,
gonna link you
I
up with
feel
my
the
girl.
industry definitely needs to change.
And I love what you said about shapes and sizes as well too in this business. That's another thing. Body image is an issue.
Yeah.
And we have now seen, back in the day, the models were about a size 0, size 4, tall, petite. Now, I love the industry now and how it has changed. You
Yeah.
have so many, you have curvy models. Um, Preciously. And you guys have seen her walk in some of the most couture fashion shows.
Mm.
Christian Siriano, she did Marc Jacobs, Valentino. A lot of these designers are taking that into consideration. Whereas back in the day, you really couldn't see a woman who was curvy or full of figure or plus size on the runways. And then I think Takara started that. Takara
Mm.
started it, and then years later it was Precious Lee, and it was others back in the day as well too. I just can't remember their names firsthand, but they were out there, and they just didn't. It was only one. But now you get to see an array of different shapes, different sizes, because not the average person is a size. The average everyday person is a size 0 or a size 4. You're going to have people who are going to have different shapes and sizes, and who have issues the same like Clara just mentioned, and not everything is going to fit them the right way.
Mm.
So that is also an issue too in the fashion industry, body image.
Yes. Yes, and I'm also proud of the industry for allowing disabled models.
Oh
So, because I'm
yeah,
considered disabled, so I am like really happy to see the versatility now. Because I don't think I would have survived in the 90s as a model. Like really, I mean, I was like preteen, but still, I don't think I would have survived at all. Like the restrictions on food was just ridiculous. Like no, the body needs a certain amount of nutrition in order to function. So there was no way I was going to survive back then. But now I can stand with the best of them. So I can't wait till the the fashion show on Saturday. That is going to be a lot of fun.
let's get into it. Now you have a fashion event coming up this Saturday, June 8th, which is the Passion and Paradise Fashion Show Festival. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, the fashion show is from the clothing designer Jess. She is the owner and creator of Sunflower Cabana, and she is amazing. I appreciate her so much for allowing me to be in her show. It's going to be a great time. The tickets are still up. Online, sunflowercabana.com here in Chicago. It's going to be here. Um, let's see, we will be showcasing her new line. So for the summer, like spring, summer clothing. Um, she has a lot of workout clothing, things of that nature. Especially beachwear as well, men and women. So yes, you guys should definitely check her out. You know, if you don't get to make it to the show, at least check out her website. She has a lot of cool things on there.
And you guys can go and purchase your tickets at sunflowercabana.com. Are you ready? Are you excited?
I'm so ready, but I'm so terrified because I haven't modeled. I haven't never done runway modeling. I've done modeling commercial wise for commercials and things of like that, but runway I've never done before. So I'm like excited and scared at the same time.
You got this. You got this, girl. You got
And
this.
she added a nice choreography number. So me, including three other models, will be having, putting on a show for you guys. So yeah,
So y'all have
very,
to go and get.
very versatile. I love Jess. She's very versatile.
And what I love is that this is in the Chicago area. So you guys please show up, show out this Saturday, June 8th, the Passion and Paradise Fashion Showcase.
I can't wait
Please
to
go
see
and
you guys.
definitely and go purchase your tickets as well too. Before we close out of this conversation, because I could talk with you all day long. I feel like I just met another new
Oh,
girlfriend. It's always great to link up with other Black
yeah.
women because in this industry, in this business, we face so much scrutiny on a daily. And I must say that 2024 has been the worst year for us in general because we have to worry about, and I'm pretty sure you've seen the Crown Act now being passed. They're trying to overturn it in certain states. And I'm just like, we need this
Yeah.
because Black women, Black children in general, even in the education system, they are being discriminated against for their hair. They're being told if they don't cut their braids or the football player, the young gentleman, the young fellow who had to cut his who was told he had to cut his dreads or he couldn't
Yeah,
march, graduate,
that was
participate.
terrible. Yeah, that was terrible. That shouldn't even
It's
happen.
absolutely, and it goes back to what you just said in the beginning of the interview, racism.
Yes. Yes,
It's
and I don't understand why is that a problem? That's the way our hair grows. We can't help that. Like that's so weird that oh you well you can't wear braids. Well, what do you want me to wear? Like you want me to wear it sticking out all over? Like because that's what it's gonna look like. When I wash and get through combing through it and everything, I got an afro. So exactly how was I supposed what we're supposed to be bald? Like like I don't understand why they expect so much. Like they want us to be so contained. It just doesn't make sense. That's boring, you know.
and I'm, and I'm pretty sure you've seen what just happened with in Congress. Jasmine in
Oh, that was
Congress, Representative.
hilarious. I'm sorry. I do not take anything back on that one. That was
I,
hilarious.
I love it too. Listen,
It was
Jasmine,
hilarious because it's like, why are you commenting on someone's lashes and expecting no one to say anything? Like,
that
wasn't it the blonde woman, the Republican, who said
Marjorie
something
Taylor
about
Greene,
someone's lashes, and then
Marjorie Taylor Greene, yep,
Miss Jasmine, she went all out. She just
gathered her. Girl, she gathered her, and rightfully
it was
so.
so funny. I was just like, bless you, honey.
Jasmine was a lot of black women when we go into establishments because, as you can tell, I'm wearing lashes,
Mhm.
and the things that we as black women buy to enhance our appearance or beauty, we
Mhm.
get scrutinized or tore down for it. Why are you wearing hair extensions? And Jasmine said the same thing. There were other people who were on the other side, the Republican side, who were also wearing extensions and who gave her a thumbs up, like, thank you for saying this. Like, you needed to say this. And we stand with her too. We stand with Jasmine too, because
Exactly.
this is what black women have to endure in the entertainment business. When we go into places, you're doing too much. Even Simone Sanders, you guys see her on MSNBC. She has her show. And she said, I want to cut it all off. Ayanna Presley is another one. I chose to cut it all off. She took the wig off and she said, hey, this is me. I'm going to show up as myself. I don't need hair. My face and just beautiful facial structure, everything.
Mhm.
Black women get scrutinized for these things, for wearing lashes. You guys can see I'm wearing nails. I love long nails. And
Mhm.
my girlfriend told me, she said, I cannot see you ever wearing anything short. I said, I like them nail. I like them long. I like the drama. I, um, Patti LaBelle, Coco from SWV, they all wore their nails long, and it's just been a
Exactly.
thing for me. Yes, so I
Exactly.
mean, when black women, we show up with drama, we show up with anything that enhances our appearance, so that is a black aesthetic. We're being told is quote unquote ghetto or doing too much. That's racism.
Yeah.
That's underlying racism. So when Marjorie took that jab at Jasmine and she said, oh, why are you wearing fake eyelashes? Marjorie, you could use some for one. And I know a good lash brand, but Jasmine gathered you all the way. She says what she said right there,
Yeah,
which
she
was
said what she
beautiful.
said. No, it's just at the end of the day, what they need to realize is instead of taking their internalized hate and taking it out on us, because that's how I'm seeing it. That is internalized hatred for themselves because they know if they do it, they will be scrutinized for it. And then when they do get scrutinized for it, it makes the others fear. They don't want to step outside the box because they're just like, oh, well, she got ridiculed, so I can't do it. But since they're being hated and told, don't wear this and don't look like this, and they're and they're directing that hatred to us, and they want us to be just as miserable as them, you know?
And then when
And
they
to
do it,
go even
another
further, since they feel like, black women are not cared for and things like that, they can just bully us. And no one's not going to do anything about it. But they keep forgetting we're black.
and another
We're not just going
thing,
to let you bully us, darling.
we're outspoken. Black women,
We're
we're
not going to do
outspoken.
that. No, no. We're not just going to idly sit back. Now, you got a few that's kind of timid. But once we get tired of you, you see what I'm saying? When we get tired of your mess, it's not pretty, is it? It's not pretty.
Black women,
So it's just best to just be respectful to everyone. Like, why you gotta be in everybody's business? Mind your business. If you mind your business, you wouldn't have so many problems.
that part. And another thing, they want our jazz, but they don't want our blues. Black women, we are the trendsetters. From the long nails to the eyelashes to
Mm-hmm.
our hairstyles. When they wear the aesthetic, it's okay. It's trendy, it's hip. But when we do it, it's ghetto. For that, but I tell you what it is, it's cultural appropriation. Because black women, we invent the culture. All of these hairstyles from the braids, cornrows, they changed it to what? Boxer braids.
Mm.
So you see how it work on them, and then with us, it's being told we need to cut our braids out, we need to do this in order to
And
fit
it's
in.
crazy to me because it's like there are women that are other ethnicities that wear braids. So why is it okay for them to wear braids, but we're not supposed to wear braids? That doesn't make sense. You know, I've always wondered about that. And to even go even further back, at the end of the day, we all human. I don't understand what the hatred is over skin color. It makes us look very primitive. That we're literally beating each other up or, you know, ridiculing each other over a skin color. I see why we haven't had any visitors from beyond.
I'm gonna tell you why.
For real, I wouldn't visit Earth neither. I wouldn't. If I was going past Earth and I saw everything that's going, I wouldn't stop by. It just makes us look like, on a serious note, it makes us look very primitive. That we're literally nitpicking at each other because we're miserable ourselves. Like, don't do that. Like, if you're miserable, just say that. You know.
And it all trickles down to one thing, and that is anti-blackness. They don't want to see black culture, black aesthetic, black anything. They would rather us just remain where we're at. And it's just like the trends for us in beauty are changing. The trends for us in hair are changing. Like
Mm-hmm.
we are not going to be the same. We're not a monolith. Everybody has their own style. And to go back to what you said about skin color, that is a thing in the black community. That's colorism.
Yes.
And I talked a lot about that on my platform. Or a lot of people are what I like to call color struck.
Mm-hmm.
I've had the conversation about colorism with black women on my panel,
Mm-hmm.
and we've talked about it. Shout outs to my girl, Ro Underwood.
Mm-hmm.
She did Raising K9. And we were talking about colorism on the Girl Talk panel. And it's just like every shade of brown is beautiful.
Yeah,
Every shade of brown is beautiful.
it is. It is. Every shade of brown is beautiful. I just don't understand why we're so primitive and stuck on, oh, well, they're that color, so we gotta hate them. Like, it just sounds primitive, caveman ish. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't evolved. Why haven't we evolved from that state of mind? Like, we still stuck on colors? Like, we got scientists developing all type of beautiful, wonderful things, and we're stuck on skin color. The majority
Color
is
struck.
stuck on skin color. I'm embarrassed to say I'm human.
Color struck.
I'm
And
embarrassed. It's like, what are you? Hey, I'm just
it's
here.
like I want to be an alien. Just get me out of here. I'm just waiting on the ship to just come and take me away, like whisk me away up out of here.
I
And
promise you,
my thing
I'm
is
embarrassed.
this.
I promise
It,
you, I'm
it,
embarrassed. If they
it
ever came and got us, I'd be like, look, take me with you. Come on. Come on. Right here.
right
Come on.
to planet Earth here. And one more thing before we wrap up for the next show, Fashion Dolls, is it goes all the way back to slavery. Because if you go and you look back, it was lighter skin in the house, darker skin in the fields. So we still have that slavery mindset that is
Yeah.
adapted to us.
We have not evolved. And it shows, even in the industries we want to enter, we have not evolved at all. And it's sad. But there's people like myself and Sunflower Cabana, and we're making waves. You know, we don't have to just stick to the mold that they set up for us. We can do anything we want to do. We don't have to be in Hollywood to be known or to be able to make money, things of that nature. You can be whatever you want to be on this planet, but you got to break through that barrier, that that barrier where people down you and doubt you and tell you you can't do it. You can. You absolutely can. It don't matter what your condition, like me. See, I do my own dialysis at home, and I'm still a model, actress, and 3D animator. So if I can do it, y'all can do it.
And that's living proof right there. And that was going to be my last final thought before we close out this amazing girl talk. I got to have you back on so that you can meet the other ladies. But I'm definitely going to link you up with Chappelle Nicole because you love her. You love her, her personality, how she talks. She's like, child. Because we had such a deep, I have to send you that girl talk so you check it out. She shared her testimony, what she's been through to get to this point in her career. Like, you love her. And my other girlfriend, Ro Underwood, she did Raising K9, a part of the Powerverse Ghost series. She
Okay,
did that show. Pretty awesome. And she's an acting coach as well, too. So I'm definitely going to link you up with her and the other ladies. But,
thank you.
Clara, before we let you go, what are some words of wisdom that you would give to young brown girls and boys who want to become a model or who want to become an actor? What are some gems that you would impart to them?
Keep going no matter who is in your life. Because what I've noticed in this journey is that whether if it's friends, family, um, it could be a fellow acquaintance. A lot of people, if they see you succeeding in your journey, it intimidates them. And they will do little things to pull you back to their level. Does that make sense? And I would say keep going no matter who is in your life, because if you allow one person to stop you, you'll never see your dreams completed. You'll never see it. You gotta keep going. No matter who's there. You feel like, oh, but I need them. That's my love support. You gotta learn how to be your own support. Learn how to be your own support. Because people will drag you right back to their level or below. And nobody's trying to do that because I like looking good. So
Okay,
you
the
know
same here.
what I mean? But yes, that would be my advice to the youngest. Like, keep going no matter who is in your life. Keep going. Because you're going to look back and you're going to be glad you did. I am so happy that I pushed through, you know?
You still here. You're a survivor. This is your testimony. The same for my girl, Chappelle. That's why I'm definitely going to link you up with her. So I'm going to set up a little chat where you ladies can meet with each other
Okay.
and chat it up or whatever. So I'm going to message her and let her know before I do it. But I want you two to meet. And I want you to meet Ro as well, too. It's the
No
other ladies. Ladies
problem. Thank
are
you.
stars.
Thank you. I appreciate the the community. That is something I never really had, is a community growing up. Like, whether if it's black or any color, like nothing. So I've had to basically be a lone wolf in this journey. And it's okay, you know? But I am open to communicating with a community. So,
Oh yeah. I'm all about. I'm a girl's girl. I love empowering other women
yeah.
and inviting other women onto my platform. When I originally created Style by Stevie, it was for Black women because I'm a Black woman and I wanted Black women to feel included. So this is like the live issue because what we used to do when we were girls growing up, we would pick up Essence magazine. This is like
Or,
my live issue
or
of Essence magazine. Yes, Jet, Ebony, Essence, all of them. And we would see ourselves included. Ricky, are you still here? Let me know because I'm about to switch over. I'm going to save this one. This is going to be one, but I wanted to do two separate shows today for a reason because of this particular issue where we were talking about colorism. We touched on the fat phobia in the industry, body image. We touched on that. We touched on a number of things in this conversation. But also make sure you guys please go and get your tickets for the Passion and Paradise fashion show this Saturday, June 8th. Go to sunflowercabana.com and go and get your tickets.
in
And I am going to switch
Chicago.
over. Yes, switch over to start a new live, and I'm going to invite Ricky on, and we're going to catch up from yesterday. This will be part two, but I want to link Clara up with the other ladies, so I'm going to do that today. I'm going to message Chappelle and I'm going to message Ro so that you definitely can meet these ladies. They're amazing. I thank you, love them.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome, girl. You got a new friend, you got a new sister and me. And it is always great meeting up and linking up with other Black women. So I wanted to turn the favor and introduce you to more other amazing Black women, other than myself, because there's so many that I've had the pleasure of meeting here as well. To my girl Simone Jones, she's an actress as well. So I think you'll like Simone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you again.
You are so welcome, girl. Ladies and gentlemen, Clara Davis, Passion and Paradise Fashion Show this Saturday, June 8th. Go and get your tickets and make sure you go to sunflowercabana.com. Get your tickets right now. I'm going to switch over so that we can catch up from yesterday's convo with my dear friend Ricky Taylor. And it was great meeting you and chatting with you.
Thank you. It was great meeting you too. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome, beautiful. And I will talk to you later. I'm going to link you up with the other ladies.
No problem. Thank you, gorgeous.
You too. Take care, girl.
You too. Bye.